All right, guys, we're going to get right into it. So today we're going to review making sure every lead has a home. So what does that mean? Well, that means that no matter where they come from, no matter what source, whether you've met them or you haven't, they have some kind of place either in your CRM, in your follow-up software, whether you're using a spreadsheet, whether you're using Command, or if you have some other third-party CRM, they have a tag, they have an intention, they have a status, and they have some kind of plan for follow-up. So we're going to be discussing a little bit of that today. We're also going to be talking about processing for listing management and transaction management and using our automation to enhance our client experience, right? Leveraging the systems to get you more time back. So the question, especially going into this market, is always going to be, how do we do more, right? How do we do more? How do we do more with less, either less money or less time? We're going to be answering some of those questions for you today. I'm excited. I'm excited. All right. So the sales follow-up. First, we're going to talk a little bit about the who. Everyone in our database or CRM falls into two main categories. We've got our Mets and our not Mets, right? So our Mets, for an example, is like someone you went to high school with, a family member. They're defined by someone who knows us, likes us, and already trusts us. We already have an existing relationship with them, right? We have their contact information. So I might say, oh, Ksenia is my best friend, but I don't have her number. Suspicious, right? Not Mets. Example, Facebook ad lead. You might, I know a lot of you guys are advertising on Facebook, putting your listings out there, open houses, whatever it might be. So they might come in, they might click on your link, they might come in with some of their data, but you haven't talked to them, you haven't gotten them on the phone, you haven't established a relationship with them yet. So they don't qualify as know, like, and trust us. They might not remember who we are from any other realtor or agent that they saw at an open house, right? So defining who your Mets and not Mets are in your database is going to be the very first step. Okay, the how of sales follow-up. The goal is to turn every not Met into a Met. I know that sounds really rudimentary, right? But the truth is, you have to ask yourself, do the follow-up plans that I have for my not Met, are they strong enough? Do they say the right thing? Am I asking the right questions in order to turn them into somebody I will have a relationship with, or that I do have a relationship with? So there's a couple not Met strategies, right? And I have some of these hyperlinks so I can actually show you guys. Woo. Go back. It's not letting me click the link. Here, let me go into my actual slide. Oh no, come on. Sorry guys, this is being a little funny today. See if I can move this over here. There we go. Here's an example of a 10 days of pain. So when somebody first comes into your CRM or into your database, you're going to assign a plan like this. Have you guys had Command, which I know a lot of you KW agents do utilize, right? There are a such thing called smart plans. So you can incorporate these kinds of automatic touches. Now they're not meant to totally replace voice-to-voice connection. So no matter if we're talking about sales follow-up or transaction management, it's to enhance the conversation, give you guys more time to have more communication instead of making the actual touches yourself. But never to replace the actual voice-to-voice call, right? Because that's where the magic truly happens. So I have an example of one here. This is from Market Leader. We use the Ben Kinney 10 days of pain, which I can provide to anybody if you guys want to shoot me an email after the class. I have some business cards over there on that table if anybody wants to grab some. So day one, you're going to send an instruction email, right? So for manually entered leads from other sources, you're going to use an intro email. For buyer leads, customize that email into a welcome email. Send your bank-owned email list or properties that fit your client's criteria, right? So a lot of times if you have MLS, which you should, you want to put these people on a property drip, right? You might be able to do it through your CRM. Some CRMs have those capabilities. You might not know exactly what they're searching for, but if they came in from an open house or they came in from a property that you advertise online, you might have a general idea, right? So like, let's say your open house was a townhouse for $300,000 in Baltimore County. That's going to be my criteria, right? Maybe like 275 to 350. I might not even include townhouse because I don't know if that's specifically what they're looking at, right? And put them on that general property drip, because what that's going to do is force them to call you back and say, ooh, there's a house that I saw that I really want to see. Could you take me to go see it? They might start favoriting properties without calling you. That's a great way to call them and say, hey, I'm going to be in the neighborhood tomorrow. Did you want to go see that? When can we set up a time? Right? So you're definitely gonna want to put them on a property search. Keep it as generic as possible, because at the very least, they'll say, this isn't anything close to what I'm looking for. Oh my gosh, so sorry about that. Tell me what you are looking for so I can correct that for you, right? Search for the lead on Facebook and send them a short private message. Now, sometimes sounds more doable than it is, because if you have like a Chris Jones come in, very generic name, you might see like 10,000 Chris Joneses. You don't know what this person looks like, but do your best, right? You want to try and make sure that you are touching them in every way that you possibly can. On day 3, we're going to send our open to show email.
Great question.
Question? Somebody had a question?
Is it appropriate?
Is what appropriate?
Like finding them on Facebook?
Oh yeah, send them a friend request. Why not? Right? They might say no, but that's okay. Send them a friend request again later once you establish the relationship, right? Send an open to show email. I've got examples of all of these different emails lower down the list. Make a follow-up call and leave a voicemail if they don't answer. Send a video email. This is super sticky, right? Because it feels customized to them. So I might just say, hey, Ksenia, I saw that you saw my property for my open house 123 Main Street this weekend. I'm so excited. I hope you're going to be there. If you have any questions about the property that I can help answer, let me know. Or if you're looking for other properties in the area, give me a call. We'll set something up. Really plain and simple. And it feels really special because it is really special.
What would you suggest to use for video emails besides BombBomb?
I know. So BombBomb's a big one. That's what we use because it is kind of like the best one. So I know that some CRMs are starting to build more like in-house video capabilities. I would research if your email provider has that. I think MailChimp you can also incorporate videos into, and a lot of times, guys, if you have under like 1,500 contacts or something, MailChimp is free. So you should be able to provide like plug a video right into the MailChimp. I think all you have to do is upload it to a Google Drive so that you have a link to it, and then it'll put it right in that email body, and it makes it really email friendly. So I'm using MailChimp a lot these days, and I love it because not only does it make it really easy to use and gives you a million templates, but it gives you all of those statistics too, to see who's clicking on what, who's opening what's sticking, what's not, how do we adjust, and all that kind of stuff. Day 4, you're going to send an email with a free CMA, right? So, hey, if you are looking to buy or sell in this area, here are some comparable properties. Here's some market statistics. Here's what's happening in your neighborhood. Would you like to, always make sure you have a call to action at the end of everything. When's a good time for us to discuss it? When's a good time for me to visit your property to dig in deeper? And then attach a just listed property list to any email and link. Send a how am I doing email, right? Hey, I just want to make sure I'm sending you all these things. I don't know if it's exactly what you're looking for or not. If there's anything I need to change, give me a call today, shoot me a text, respond to my email. I'll make any adjustment you need, right? Include a list of recently reduced properties. So, hey man, here are some ones that are going down in price. They're going to get a lot hotter on the market. Do you want to see them before they go? Day 6, you're going to take 1 day off during the plan, right? Because you don't want to get you're harassing me now call. I signed up for the DNC because of you. Oh God, we don't want that. Send specialty services email. What sets you apart from the market, right? What do you do that makes you special from any other agent? Hey, I've got a really long list of incredible contractors that are well vetted that I know, like, and trust. So if you need any home improvement ideas or you're looking to remodel a bathroom, call me first. I'm your one-stop real estate shop. I can give you whatever you need, right? Hey, we work with an interior designer. So if you're not sure how to get your home ready for market, you don't want to spend a lot of money, you want to make sure you do the right projects, call me. We'll make sure that you're doing the right projects, right? And then send a text message if you're confident in the phone number that you have. Some CRMs are actually getting fancy enough to where they can tell you right off the bat if it's a real number or not. Otherwise, you got to do it the old school way. Call them and find out. Send them a text. Hey, I'm in the neighborhood that you were looking in. I just want to find out, how things are going. Are you still searching? What questions can I help answer for you? How quickly do you have to move? Obviously, don't bombard them with 10,000 questions at once. Pick one and stick with it. Okay. Day 8, you're going to send specific property email. You're going to search your other social media platforms like LinkedIn and Twitter and direct message them otherwise, if you can't find Facebook. And research their IDX activity. The IDX activity is, again, what they're looking at. So now that you're sending them properties, you're going back and you're checking. What are they actually viewing? What are they actually favoriting? How do I have a powerful conversation with this person that's really zoned in on what they're looking for and what they want. And then send a contest or free certificate email. These are really fun, right? Hey, I just want to let you know, me and my team or me and my market center are running a contest today to see who can get the most listings this week. I want to be number one. Who do you know that needs to sell a house? Right? Do you need to sell a house? Or, hey, congratulations, I wanted to send you a free certificate. I did a random lottery and you were the winner. If you sign up with me in the next 30 days, I can guarantee you a free home warranty on me. Attempt contact once again via your social media platform. Keep researching that IDX activity. That's going to be your bread and butter. And do a phone call for the final call and leave a voicemail if nobody answers, right? Now, once we get past day 10, that's where we have to decide, where does this lead have a home? They haven't reached back out to you. They haven't called you. What's next? What bucket do they then go into? That's what we're going to discuss next. So all of this down here, guys, is a ton of scripts that you can use during those phone calls. A lot of the email templates. Hey, here's what you want to say when you do that first initial email. And I can provide this to everybody who signed up for the class at the end, if anybody would be interested in looking more into this. It makes it really easy to then just copy, paste, and customize into our smart plans in Command or your auto plans in Brivity or whatever CRM you might use. And I can't get back to my slideshow because, see if I can move this bad boy. All right. 4 Days of Love is similar to 10 Days of Pain, but it's focused way more on the actual person themselves than the transactions. So instead of making it so much about, hey, what properties are you looking for? What areas are you looking into? Am I sending you the right information? It's, who are you? Why are you thinking about making a move? Is it because you're relocating for family, for work? I hope you haven't lost a loved one, but if you have, I can help you with that too if you need the estate sale, right? Really focus on who the person is and how you help them versus the actual transaction. So that's just going to be a decision that you make as an individual. Who do I want to be in real estate, right? There's also 20 Days of Gain, also similar to the 10 Days of Pain, but a lot more rigorous and obviously a lot longer. So totally up to you guys, whatever you decide. If they never respond, that's when they go on either an 8x8 or a 12x12, right? An 8x8 is going to be one piece of contact a week for 8 weeks, right? Most people use email. You can sprinkle in some text messages, some phone calls. And then the 12x12 is 12 direct. So they're getting 12 actual hard pieces of mail or postcards from you, right? Some people do both, doesn't hurt. But you want to make sure that you have some of these systems automated so that they are running in the background behind you while you're focusing on your 10 Days of Pain people. So the 10 Days of Pain people are your initial hand raisers, right? So, little example of what an 8x8 looks like. Here we go. And all of this, guys, can also be found in the MREA book, the red book, Millionaire Real Estate Agent, however anybody decides to define it, the real estate Bible, right? All of these can be found in here as well. So do not neglect the MREA. I reread it at least once every year. I recommend y'all do too. So the 8x8 guide, right? Here we go. First, email, text, call, anything I can do. Can I stay in touch, right? Is there anything I can do to help? Can I stay in touch? Week 2 is a video, text or email. There's your bomb. There's Loom. So Loom's another option. Like I said, MailChimp is another good way to go. And a lot of times MailChimp is free if you have less than 1,500 contacts. Social media ad, market report, call or text. Did you have any questions? Is there anything I can do for you? Week 6 is a handwritten card or an item of value. Week 7, news article, blog post, closing cost guide. A lot of these you can get from your vendors. So reach out to your lenders, right? And find out like, hey, is there any charts, like quick items that you have that can tell me a little bit about mortgage rates right now or different local programs people could benefit from. I recently saw one from another lender that was a calculation on seller contributions. They were like, if this is your purchase price and this is your loan program, this is generally what we recommend for seller contribution if you're asking for it. So go to your vendors and find out what's some really sticky information that I can use that's market specific that people would benefit from, right? Because the number one question we always want to ask is, how is this helping them? Week 8, you're going to do another video, text, or email, anything I can do, right? That's a basic overview of the 8x8. Again, all of this will be made available to you guys at the end of the course, so you don't have to worry about any of that. And we'll just really briefly go over the 12 by 12 outline, which is really super basic. This month in real estate, right? What are your market statistics? What's happening? Are you focusing on Baltimore County? Or are you focusing on Central Maryland? Are you focusing on all of Maryland? Do you want to give them a snapshot of the United States? What's happening that they need to know this month in real estate to make smarter, more educated and confident decisions about either their purchase or their sale, right? And then send them some of your own just listed and just sold. Let them know what you're doing, what properties you specialize in. And then the main goal at all of this, because I know we said we want to take them from a not met to a met, but no matter how your funnels flow for your lead gen activities, the ultimate goal is to get somebody into your 36 touch. I know some people have 40 touch, 46 touch, 57 touch, 102 touch. However many touches you do, is up to you. Don't go below 36, right? 36 is kind of the sweet spot, according to MREA. And the 36 touch is actually not as painful as some people may think. So I've got a 36 touch outline here. For a 10% return, you're going to want to do all of these, right? So what does that mean? It means if you've got 500 people in your database and you're doing all of these steps, you should be able to guarantee yourself 50 transactions at the end of the year, right? 10% return on your database. So find out how many people you have, direct mail them, call them, text them, invite them to events, follow this step-by-step plan, and you should have at least 50 transactions if you've got people in your database, right? And that's just for men. Piece of cake, no problem. So if you only do marketing, you can expect a 4% return, right? So if you never make those phone calls, you never reach out, you never hold an event, you're just like sending them mailers and emails, maybe some text blasts here and there, you can pretty much guarantee a 4% return on your database. If you do go to having non-primary relationships make the calls for you, right? Meaning you have an admin now or you have an ISA and you're no longer calling your database, you're having somebody else do it for you, that's going to be an 8% return on top of the marketing, right? So if you're really wanting to net that 10% plus return, I highly recommend, especially in this market, pick up the phone and make those calls yourself, right? So the main thing is 12 emails. Okay, they're going to go out on the same day every month, whether it's the first Monday or the second Tuesday or whatever it is, they go out every single month. Your 12 emails should be relational. You want to talk about 3 major things, right? Here's your market update. Here are some really great local programs, whether it's like, for example, we just got done our Love and Kindness for February newsletter. And ours was all about how to support local businesses, local florists, right? So if you want to support a local business and buy a beautiful bouquet for your levy, here are some local businesses that you can support. And the other one was, here are some amazing nonprofit programs that we recommend. If you want to focus on love and kindness this month and you want to give back and participate in your community, here are some incredible nonprofits that you could consider, right? So make it hyper local, always be coming from contribution, and then give them a real estate hot stat. We're focusing really highly on the Maryland Saves program right now because we know so many people have student loan debt. So we're making sure that all of our database knows that they could clear up to $50,000 of student loan debt by partnering with Maryland Saves program, right? And then we also talk about what upcoming events we have for our team. So we're giving away a spring cleaning giveaway. And we're marketing that as part of the local events that are coming up. So we're also highlighting things that are happening, you know, either at AVAM or the BMA or the Lyric, different art events, different community events. Like I'm going to just visit Baltimore and finding everything that I can find that I think our database would be interested in. And then I'm also letting them know, hey, here's what we're doing personally that you can look forward to. So that way, if you don't have an event that's coming up, you can lean on your community, right?
So how often you send an event, or is that part of your automated?
Yes, so we do that once a month. Yep, once a month. Second Tuesday of every month is when we send ours out. So ours is going out this afternoon, actually, for Love and Kindness. So we're excited to see how that hits. In January, we did, Love Yourself. So if you have New Year's resolutions, here's some local health food options, some local gyms, all that kind of stuff. Then you've got 12 postcards. right? That's gonna be your just listed, just sold directly to your database. So highlight the ones that you're most proud of, highlight the ones that have a story behind it that you wanna highlight for them. And send those out to your database as an actual physical postcard once a month, right? We love to have a really good story with our clients' permission to share always, right? But if it was a really difficult transaction, either because they did lose a loved one, right? Now we had to sell their estate, or they listed it with 3 agents before they got to us and they failed to sell. And these are all the things that happened because of that. And then they finally were able to sell that house. Like, you want to share a really incredible win story. Maybe it's someone who's been working on their credit for like 20 years and they finally bought their first house they never thought they could before, right? So find a win story and really highlight that in your direct mail.
Can that be in a video format?
Sure. Yeah.
You said postcards, so you actually maybe want them to open something up when they come home. You know, in their
Yeah.
mail.
So it can be. So you guys can adjust these touches however you want, right? Like, even if you just want to do my only suggestion would be, because obviously we can't monitor if someone opens their mail or just throws it in the trash, right? But to the best of your ability, try to measure your contact rate for every different form of touch that you're doing. So that way, if you find that you're sending these out via email, like 1% of people you send them have opened to, let's pivot to something else, right? But you absolutely can. You know, you might have a database that's like, don't even call me, just email me, I'm so busy. Right? Then the quarterly events. So us personally, we do 2 in-person events a year and then 2 giveaways. So with the giveaways, we market them not just to our database, but also to the general public to build our not Mets into Mets. And then we have our 2 in-persons that are strictly for our actual Met database clients, right? Celebrate them, client appreciation. This is one that I want to highlight. It's not about the event. If nobody shows up, that's okay, right? Because what we want is to have all of our touches leading up to the event, right? I've had people ask me like, well, how do you get business at the event? How do you get referrals at the event? How do you don't. The event's just to have fun. The event's just to celebrate with your people, right? The event is to show them, hey, I appreciate you being in business with me. Every touch leading up to it is where the additional business happens, right? Hey, I just want to remind you, save the date. Hey, I just want to remind you, your invitation just went out today. Did you get it? Are you coming? Who else do you know that should come to this event? Who should I invite? No problem. Give me their contact information. I'll put them on the list right now, right? By the way, who do you know that we can help, right? All of those touches leading up to the event is where additional business can happen. The event itself, all pressure's off, guys. Have fun.
I did a
Yes.
online seminar this Saturday and nobody showed up, so that's still okay.
It's okay. Did you have powerful conversations leading up to the event?
I think I did, my goal was to tell as many people in my gym, that's where I did the seminar, to tell I'm a realtor, so I think I spread out the word and.
Great. As long as you capture their information, right? Hey, I want to make sure that I stay in touch with you because I'm going to be doing more of these. I want to make sure you or anyone that you know doesn't miss out on it. Would you be offended if I got your name and number so I can make sure you don't miss anything? Right? And make your follow-up calls, right? So, hey, sorry you couldn't make it. No sweat. It was amazing. We had so much fun. Everybody learned, even if no one came, everybody learned so much, right? Since you weren't able to go there, I just wanted to ask, what kind of questions could I help answer for you since you were interested in coming, right? And there it is. Post-event call. So 60 days out, they're going to get a save the date. 30 days out, they're going to get the formal invitation. And then 30 days out, when they get that invitation, they're going to do an all-day call day. On our team, everyone participates. Doesn't matter if you're an admin, doesn't matter if you're a runner, you're on the phones, you're making calls with us that day, right? Set an intention. How many referrals and appointments do you want to gain, right? So if you have 100 people, do you want 10 outcomes, either an appointment or referral? Make sure you set a goal for yourself, because otherwise what's going to happen is y'all are friendly, loving people, and you're just going to want to chat, right? Which is great. That's why they love you. But make sure you set an intention for yourself, right? Ask about the kids, ask about work. It's all good. Make sure you're script and role playing at least 2 weeks in advance. So if you don't have a team, if you're a solo agent, find someone to role play with you, right? Ask around your market center, ask around to the other agents. hey, I want to start doing this year. Do you want to start doing this year? Would you like to script and role play with me? So the script sounds a little something like this. Hey, did I catch you at a good time? Do you have a couple of minutes? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. I'm on my lunch break, actually, so that's perfect. Wonderful. We're going to go right into Ford, which is family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, right? But we're going to focus on occupation. How's work going for you? Right? Oh, it's busy. It's crazy. The new year really came off to a crazy start. How's work going for you? I'm so glad you asked. Real estate's been amazing, right? Because even if they don't ask you how your work is going, which they probably will, because that's the polite thing to do, you still have a segue, right? I asked you about work, I'm going to talk about work now too, right? Real estate's been amazing, okay? And then, once you've come in with your hot stat, hey, by the way, while I have you on the phone, I didn't know, but have you heard about this Maryland Saves program? No, that's saving people money, help people pay off student loan debt through their mortgage. No, I haven't heard about that. Oh yeah, it's amazing. You pay up to $50,000 student loan debt just by paying your mortgage payment. It's incredible. We're making sure everybody knows about it, right? Maybe they don't have student loan debt. That's okay. Who do you know that you think could benefit from that program? Awesome. Would you be offended if I got their information so I could follow up with them today? So we don't waste time before the program runs out of money, right? And then take them through that LP Mama script. Location, price, motivation. Are they working with an agent? Mortgage, go for the appointment. And then at the very end of the conversation, oh, by the way, the reason for my call was, I just wanted to invite you to this awesome event. No strings attached. So that's it, guys. 36 touch. Is it work? Yeah, it's work. But if this is what your lead generation looked like to get 10% return on your database, is it worth it? The good news is, outside of like the events, it's pretty much free, right? Because you can use command to send out all these touches through your smart plans. You can leverage MailChimp, right? So set all these up on the front end. We usually start setting them up by the end of Q3 every year, so the following year. And the good news is, it's never too late to start. So if you're like, oh man, I gotta wait till Q3 to do it for 2024. No, you don't. You can start now. You can start today. Anybody have any questions on 10 days of pain, 36 touch, Mets, not Mets, concerns? Anyone afraid? Anyone excited?
I'm excited.
Yeah. We love to see it. Sir, did you have a thought? It looked like you had a thought.
So are they each unique programs or are they in consecutive order? So it's 10 days of pain and 4 days of love and
Oh, no, not necessarily. So the 10 days of pain, 4 days of love, and 20 days of gain, that's for you to choose, right? But every lead that first comes in to your database or that you get off an open house should start with this 10 days of pain. If the 10 days of pain runs out and you have not gotten contact from anybody, they haven't responded to you, then you're going to decide where they go from there. Start with an 8x8 or a 12x12. Now, the truth is the amount of follow-up plans that you could have is infinite, right? But I would say start with these main ones, make sure everyone can fall into a general bucket of follow-up before you start getting fancier, right? We can always build more, but we got to start with one thing at a time. So once they finish their 8x8 and your 12x12, you're hoping at some point during this or these, they've reached back out to you, right? They have picked up the phone, you have gotten a conversation with them. If that happens and you're able to establish that rapport and that relationship, set the appointment, you want to put them on your 36 touch after that.
After you establish their relationship.
Yes. So yep, past clients, stay on the 36 touch, right? Your friends and family, go on your 36 touch. Anyone that you have a relationship with is on your 36 touch. Now, I know some people will, after they've, gotten these like thousands and thousands of people in their database, they might start to rotate who's on that 36 touch. That's up to you, right? Some people will say, we only want to have 250 people on it. So if we've done business with 250 people in the past 2 years, we might remove other people from the 36 touch. That's up to you. I like to keep everyone on it as much as I can because they might have somebody that they know who needs to buy or sell. I want to stay in touch with them. They might have just bought a vacation property and still want to sell next year. Their primary residence. We have no idea. Maybe they want to buy another vacation home.
So if we've had, let's say, a open house connection with someone.
Mhm.
And then you called them afterwards to follow up and you never heard back. At what stage is that? Let's say sometime has passed, maybe 3 or 4 weeks have passed.
And you haven't heard from them.
Right, but I haven't also reached out beyond that initial phone call.
Oh.
So where would I jump to the 10 days of paying?
I would pick up where you left off in the 10 days of pain and try to commit to the consecutive days.
Calling every day.
Yeah, and it's okay to use the apology script, right? Hey, I'm really sorry, I dropped the ball. And for some reason, right, like, I don't know why your name ended up at the bottom of my list, but it really should be at the top. So I'm gonna correct that now, right? And make sure I don't drop the ball again. What question's gonna help answer for you? Confidence is key. Because we do get busy and we forget.
So this morning, I just talked to someone that I met at an open house over the weekend. She was great, we had a great connection. I sent her information and she says to me, and I sent her more stuff yesterday. And we're gonna go see the properties tomorrow.
Mhm.
Today, she's going out with another agent to see 3 of the listings that I had sent her.
Oh, no.
So I called, so we were talking and I said, well, you know, if you're working with another agent, I really don't want it in any way. Gotta get in the middle of that. She goes, no, my girlfriend introduced me to her and I'm just going out with her, but I really don't like her voice.
All right.
You know, it's kind of, I don't know if she knows, yeah, like a squeaky voice or anything. And I'm like, well,
Reasons we hear, right?
that's possible. She goes, she's kind of pushy.
Mhm.
Right? So when you say 10 days of pain to me, it kind of, my mind goes there, and maybe you shouldn't, but
Sure.
my mind goes there. And I did not, I gave her room, but then after I hung up, I said, by the way, you're going to this building with this other agent, just make sure you let her know that there's 2 other places also in the same building, you might as well see those 2. And we are supposed to meet tomorrow.
Okay.
To see another place.
Get that agreement signed.
It's always a fine line with that pushy thing.
Of course.
And they perceive that, they smell it.
Oh, yeah.
you
We
know?
call it sales breath, commission breath, right? Everyone's like, ooh, get that away from me. I don't want that. Everyone wants to buy, no one wants to be sold, is the bottom line, right? Everyone wants to buy, no one wants to be sold.
What do you mean by that?
So if I'm going to look for a car, right? I want to buy a car, that's why I'm there,
I see.
right?
Yeah,
But if I've got this guy with commission breath, like, oh God, buy this one, just do it now, sign the paperwork. I don't want to be sold. I do want to buy, but I don't want to be sold. I came here to find the car I wanted, not the car I think you want me to buy, right? So everybody wants to buy, they just don't want to be sold. The 10 days of pain is meant to get that contact. So if you already have the contact, it stops.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good distinction.
So if you have that, that's where you're gonna go into a different follow-up plan, because that's when you have the appointment. Now you are sending them properties, right? Now you are touching base with them. Hey, I saw that you looked at 123 Main Street. I'm gonna be in the neighborhood store. Did you want to go see it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's where we actually say, we have a rule on our team. Automation stops at contact. We don't want to use automation anymore. Because our automated plans might say something like, hey, I'm so excited for you to go check out all these new schools. I'm retired. I don't care about the schools, right? So we want to make sure that all of those touches after that are personalized and specific to them. The automation's meant to help you get in contact with somebody, and then you pause it and you turn it off. And then you just follow up strategically, consistently,
Okay,
right?
so if the communication or contact has been established, you kind of skip the 10 days of pain and you go to where?
Oh yeah, if I make that first call, my day one person, hey Deanna, pause, we're done. How are you? Right into LP mom, right? Where were you think?
To LP mom.
Yep.
But then
Where were you
as
thinking
far as
about
the
going?
automation of touches, or you're just hoping that you're already gonna turn that into a signed contract?
Yeah, our goal is to get that appointment right then and
I
there.
see.
And if they tell us like, hey, it's probably gonna be 6 months, like, we're not totally
Yeah.
ready, we want the school year to
Yeah.
end before
Yeah.
we move, whatever,
Where do you
that's
put that
fine. I'll put them on a manual follow-up plan, right?
manual?
A manual follow-up plan. So at that point, I'm either setting a calendar invitation for myself, a time block or a task in my CRM that says, hey, Susie Q said that she's not ready. She wants to buy 6 months from now. So I'm gonna follow up with her every 2 months. Just to make sure her timeline hasn't changed. Just to make sure there's no questions I can help answer. Just to see if she needs some house prep prior to going on the market, so we can hit that date. Right? And I'm making notes in my CRM all the way along the way. Because if you guys are anything like us, you talk to people all day, every day. You might forget the details. Make sure you document them. Right? That way you can be like, hey, how's little Johnny and little Cindy? Oh my God, you remember my kids' names? Of course I did, because I wrote it down. How could I forget? Right? Did I answer all your questions?
Thank you.
Yes, my pleasure. Anybody else? No? Okay.
Hey, Deanna, I have a question, Deanna. I don't know if you can
Of course, Gabe. Anything for you.
So for example, let's just say you get the appointment, you sit down with them, and they say, okay, well, we're, like I said, we're probably looking to sell or buy probably within a year or so. So that goes into your manual system. Do you have like a hybrid kind of manual / automated system that you set them up on, or do they go into a 36 touch after you have had that like face-to-face or that meeting with them
Yes.
to keep them engaged?
Great question. So if we, at that point, as long as we have a timeline established, we consider them a nurture, right? That's our definition of nurture, is a timeline. We still use manual follow-up tasks. The only automation we'll use in that instance is either a market report drip and or a listing alert. That way they're getting updates in real time on what's happening with their house that they want to sell. They can see what's happening in that market, how prices are changing, how days on market are changing, because that might influence them to call you faster and be like, Gabe, the last 2 houses sold for 15 grand less than what we talked about. Should I be worried? Right? Should we move faster? And the list alert's going to show them the houses in the neighborhoods they're searching in. They might call you and say, I know we said 12 months, but man, this is the dream house that checks all the boxes, that it's $25,000 under my price. Gabe, can we please go look at it? Right? And you're going to be monitoring all that activity, even if they don't call you, to be able to have a meaningful conversation and say, hey, I noticed that you favorited this one property like 3 times. Should we go take a look? So the only automation we do is based automation, and the actual conversations are, texts and calls to manually follow up on them. Did that answer your question?
Gotcha. Oh yeah, no, that was perfect. Deanna, thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you.
My pleasure.
So they become a nurture, you said, and then you put them in a listing search, which I'm assuming is the automatic emails,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
And then a smart plan.
Yes.
Like a bi-weekly smart plan.
Not necessarily a smart plan. So we use Brevity as our CRM. So we do a market report, and then we do a listing alert. And so a market report is really designated towards sellers, right? It's saying, hey, here's what's happening around your house at 123 Main Street. Here's the average actives, the average pending, the average solds. Here's roughly what we think your house might sell for. Someone might call you. This happened to us. How dare you? My house is worth at least $150,000 more than your little report said. Oh my God, I am so sorry about that. It's based on an algorithm. The best way for us to know what your house is worth is for us to come through and walk it. What's better for you, Thursday at 4 or Friday at 5? Right? By the way, do you mind me asking, what's got you interested in knowing? Think about refinancing? Think about selling? What do you want to know? Right? So embrace some of those angry calls. They might come, right? How could you? Like, hey, it wasn't me, man. It's just my AI.
Market report for sellers, but not for buyers, just the automatic listings.
Yes. So here's what's coming on the market in the areas that you were interested in the price point you're interested in, or that we think that you can afford, right? Obviously, we don't know until they talk to the lender. But that's why you also want to keep it generic. So like leave bedroom count out, leave bathroom count out, square footage. We don't need any of that, right? We want to give them a reason to call us and say, this isn't what I'm looking for. Oh my God, I'm so sorry about that. Tell me what you are looking for. I will get that right for you. By the way, what has you looking?
Do you make a mistake on purpose?
Well, not necessarily a mistake, but we're just keeping it generic. Now, if they've told us, right, like, hey, don't send me anything that's less than 3 bedrooms, we'll of course put it in there. But yeah, we want them to call us. We want them to be like, this isn't right. Oh my God, I'm so glad I finally got you on the phone. Let's fix it.
Only 10 days of paying.
Yeah. For you have an answer. All right, guys,
Busy now.
that takes us to listing management. Hooray. So the question you always have to ask yourself, right? What is my process? What do you do? That might be like, well, Deanna, I get the listing agreement signed and then we get photos and we stick the sign in the yard. What do you do? Right? Really, what is your process? Think about it, write it down, document it. That's always gonna be the first step. Right? Everyone's like, how do I build this big, massive auto plan? Start small. Get out a pen and paper. Get a bunch of sticky notes and start putting them on your wall. Move them around, right? This happens before this happens. Get hyper specific. What do I want my communication to sound like? Right? And be wary, because sometimes we have a tendency to be like, I want it to sound super professional. Well, then you sound automated. Sound like you. What do these automations sound like? They have to sound like you, right? So if I'm sending out an automated text where I'm like, oh my God, make sure you sign up at this link for our upcoming event. Stop, unsubscribe, right? Hey, Ksenia, it's been a while. I'm really excited to invite you to this event. I would love to see your face and hug you in person. Can you please tell me you're free that day? Yeah. Right? Make it sound like you. People know you, they like you, they trust you. It's why they're in business with you. Lean on that, right? Lean on that. Who's responsible for what? If you do have admins, if you do have other team members, if you have listing managers, make sure you guys are crystal clear on who does what, right? And is it documented somewhere? It's like real estate agent kryptonite. I have to document my system. Yes. Why? Because the golden rule is if you don't document your system, it doesn't make you irreplaceable, it makes you unpromotable.
Yes, breach.
It doesn't mean no one else can do this like I can. No, it means you're gonna be doing it forever. Down, right? This is an example of what our flow chart looks like. So this is where it all started. And no, it didn't even look this good when we first started. It was sticky notes on the wall, right? It was scribbles on a whiteboard just like this one. But really get crystal clear. Who does what from beginning to end? We know who owns what. Who's color coded. Get 3 different colors of sticky notes if you must. But literally document every single step of the way. Okay. What do you have to do weekly with your listings? What do you have to do daily? Because we all know once that sign is in the ground, we're not done. We haven't sold the house, right? Our clients aren't just like, that's fine, don't talk to me until you get a contract. Oh no, what's happening with my house? What's happening with traffic? What are people saying? Are we gonna do an open house? Are you marketing it? Who are you marketing it to? Where are you marketing? They wanna know all of that, right? You can't just do the 3 Ps. So start documenting your systems. This is where automation comes from. Getting hyper specific on every step of the process. And then you can start asking yourself, what are the things that I'm doing now that are repetitive? Every single transaction that I do that could be automated, right? For example, when we schedule our photos, we call our client and let them know, hey, we're doing Tuesday at 10. Does that work for you? That works for me. Great. Just so you know, you're going to get an automated reminder the day before that we're coming Tuesday at 10. No problem. And then they do. Automated text message. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, just a reminder, tomorrow at 10, we're having our photos. Please refer to the email I just sent you so that you make sure you have all your boxes checked. Hey, congratulations. We just scheduled your photo shoot. Here's what you need to know. Call us with any questions. Yeah, make sure the house is clean, no clutter, maybe remove some personal photos, whatever it might be. Right? Which obviously we've had these verbal conversations with them leading up to that, but our automation re-enhances it and gives them a physical checklist,
How do you
right?
put that animation in place?
Well, so with our CRM Grimpy, we have auto plans, but you can do it through smart plans, I believe. Yeah, so you can set up all of this automation through command. We're able to make it down to like the minute that something is happening, right? As long as we put that time block into our system, right? Now, I don't know the full capabilities of command, but play with it, get creative, right? Even if it's just like, hey, the day before, you're gonna get a text, right? Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you basically bury yourself in complexity because this email will apply if the property is occupied? It will not apply if the property is vacant.
yes,
Do you even bother about it or just?
we do. So we do have different, what we did. I should have made a link to like what our whiteboard mess looked like before it started looking like this. We literally got a sheet just like this one, and we started writing, okay, these are the auto plans we want. This is everything that we want to cover. We want investor audit plans. We want cash as is. We want cash with inspection. We want, finance, but as is, right? We wanted all of these different plans. We have a rent to own option. Sometimes we have vacant properties, tenant occupied properties. Like, okay, we need all these specific ones. But what are our umbrella plans? What's the one that 90% of the time is going to encompass everything that we need? Let's start there. And then we can tweak and adjust and make more specific plans from there, right? So yes, in the beginning, we were like, it's okay. Some people might have reached out to us. Hey, no one lives at the house. I'm so sorry about that. That was an automated email. We just wanted to make sure that you had everything you needed in case you wanted to go back. Right? And we always give them the heads up, right? You are going to get some automated emails and text messages from us. If anything comes over and you're confused, call us, right? Call us. And we've made a lot of changes over the years to our auto plans. Every time you write one, you're so proud of it. You worked so hard on it. It's amazing. And then you find out something's broken, or it didn't work, or it doesn't apply, or doesn't sound as good as you thought it did when you wrote it at 9 o'clock at night. Like whatever it is, right? It's a living, breathing thing. Keep adjusting, keep pivoting, keep changing. Nothing in business or in life is ever concrete. So give yourself grace. Mistakes will be made when you first embrace automation. Just be ready to correct them. But the first step is to know what your steps are, right? So before you can build a smart plan, literally write it down, get all of your tasks and what you want the communication to look like in between documented. And then the final question is, what touches can be automated without sacrificing your client experience, right? You don't want them to feel like your Facebook and no one can call you when something goes wrong, right? No, it's meant to enhance. It's meant to give them more communication. Show of hands, who's had a client that's fired them for talking to them too much?
For what?
For talking to them too much? Of course not. They think we don't talk to them enough. I haven't heard from you in 2 days, right? Are you not working on my file anymore? Are you sick? What happened? What's going on? I don't know what's going on. You can over communicate. Permission to over communicate. From the consumer perspective, we do this every day. They might do this once every 10 years. And a lot changes in 10 years in real estate. A lot, right? So over communicate. They don't know the process like we do. Oh no, Gabe, what happened? There you go. Transaction management. Main points of the transaction timeline. Can we all kind of agree on this? As like a general, right? We get ratified, we gotta make sure everything's in compliance. We send everything to all the parties. We have our home inspection, our appraisal, our walkthrough, our settlement, everybody gets paid, hopefully, right? So what you want to do is take these main points, and just like we talked about in listing management, build around them.
Yeah.
Right? So you get ratified, then what? Seriously, tell me, what do you do? What's next?
Send it to all parties,
There you go.
shoot all flyers out, schedule everything.
Mhm. Do you have a template for that welcome email? I know you do. Right, because it's the same every time. So we can repeat that. We can make that repetitive. We have a template for that. We're checking to make sure all the signatures are there, right? All the addendums are there. Do we have a task for that? It might seem crazy. Some of the tasks that we have in our auto plans were like, okay, Deanna, relax, right? The truth is, I want to build them so foolproof. If I get hit by a bus tomorrow, someone on my team can step in and see exactly where I left off and know what's next. Right? Make it foolproof. Because when you guys build your big badass real estate businesses and you're hiring an admin and you're hiring an assistant, you're hiring a listing manager and a marketing coordinator, do they know what they're supposed to do by day one? Or do you have to train them on your hip for the next year and hope they work out? Right? Give yourself the time back now. So this is kind of what I was saying before, when it came to like the umbrella plans, like we know 90% of the time, these are not gonna change, right? The general flow and timeline of the transaction doesn't change. So fill in all the blanks in between, right? Who needs to be talked to? What does it sound like? How are we reminding our clients? How are we preparing them for what to expect? Right? The end of every conversation we have, no matter what it is, when we talk to our clients is, and here's what you can expect next. Hey, we just ordered the home inspection. This is what that means. This is what you can expect. And oh, by the way, after this, you can expect the appraisal to be scheduled. Here's what that means. Here's what to expect. Hey, congratulations, your property appraised. We're at value, right? No repairs. Here's what you can expect next. We're gonna start coordinating walkthrough and settlement. Gotta make sure we have all of your invoices for any repairs in hand so we can send them to the seller, right? We're gonna send you the Alta statement. Here's what that means. Here's what to look for on that. Hey, by the way, here's what you can expect next, right? Over communicate, and utilize the automation in between to enhance that communication, not replace it. Right? Hey, just a reminder, home inspection tomorrow. Your agent will be there, don't worry. Right? Hey, just a reminder, appraisal tomorrow. Make sure all your light bulbs work. You know? Hey, just a reminder, settlement tomorrow. Bring your ID. We've had that happen before. I need my ID. Yes, sir. Now we add it to the plan. It lives in the plan now, so it never happens again. Right? And sometimes we failed forward into our auto plans that way too. We think we had it all covered. And then somebody misses something or somebody forgets to request something. We assume it's gonna happen. Never assume. Have a task for it. It's like, okay, well, 3 times in a row now, you didn't ask the title company for the preliminary Alta and something was on there we needed to know. Guess what gets a task now? In every single plan. 5 days prior, we need a preliminary to review. Right? So what is everything, every little thing? And like I said, it's a living, breathing thing. It is an organism. It's gonna change. It's gonna evolve. You're gonna change and evolve with it. Your company is gonna change and evolve with it.
Where do you keep those templates?
Oh, so I can also share these with you at the end if you want. We started with a whiteboard and then I took my whiteboard and I created the biggest spreadsheet I've ever made of like 80 some auto plans, I think. And I just started putting every single task, every single instruction, who it belongs to, when it's due, if it's manual or if it's automated, and then I just started plugging them all into our system.
Sounds like 30 days of pain.
It took me about a year to do all of them, and we're still making new ones every day, right? Like my auto plans are a big 20% of my job.
Right.
You guys don't have to start there. That's the good news, right? Find the ones, everyone asks me, where should I start? Which is the first one I should start working on? What's the one that's gonna get you the most time back? What's the one that's gonna help you the most? Start there, because once you have more time, you can work on the next one, right? And it's hard. It's hard. It is time consuming, right? But my opinion is always, I'd rather spend like a whole day working late into the night on my auto plan because I know it's gonna save me hours every week. Hours I'm never gonna get back. You know? So it's worth it. It's gonna be painful, but hey, real estate's painful. When you first got your license, it was painful. Who do I call? Where do I find business? How do I market? Where do I get the money to market? Everyone's on social media. How much money should I be spending on social media? It's hard, right? So give yourself the grace, take one thing at a time, decide what's the one that's gonna give me the most time back and start with that one. Okay. Oh, we went over the what to expect next script. I was moving forward a little too fast. So when we evaluate our systems, and we do this about once a quarter probably, what systems are you currently using? Is it scalable? What does that mean? It means if I went from a business of 1 to 20 tomorrow, would all the systems I currently have work? Maybe not, probably not, right? So if it's not scalable, why isn't it scalable? How can it be? Right, Gary Keller tells us in the MRA about the only way to be $1 million agent is to start acting like one today. Are our systems $1 million systems? That's for you to decide. Are your checklists automated and paperless? If they're not, that's okay. Do you have them written down on a piece of paper? If not, start there. No judgment, man. Once again, Gary says the system that works is the one that you're using. Just have a system, right? How to document it. And then you can start moving into the automated and paperless, right? These are not systems that happen overnight. How are dates and deadlines managed? With a hope and a prayer that you'll remember that tomorrow's the last day to turn in that property inspections notice? Are you using your calendar? Do you have a system that reminds you, hey, just so you know, tomorrow's the last day? Right? That's some automation that we have in our systems too. We send a text to our agents, tomorrow's the last day. Have you responded? Or are we gonna be out of contract? And is our client gonna fire us? We hope not. Right? Are there checks and balances? Who's your accountability partner? Right? We have checks and balances on our team too. I leave nothing to assumption. I don't micromanage, but we do have things that remind me to go in and check on something every once in a while and go, looks good. I'm cool, I'm happy, keep doing a great job, proud of you. Let me know if you have any questions, how can I support you? Right? Who's responsible for the system? And then once again, final reminder, never let automation completely replace your voice-to-voice relationship. It is meant to enhance. They want to work with you, they don't want to work with the computer. Everyone's on Facebook. I don't know how Mark Zuckerberg did it, but you can't get a freaking customer service person contacted at all, still $1 billion industry, but he's the exception to the rule, not the rule, right? 90% of real estate is service. You know, Silicon Valley is trying to replace us with technology. They thought they could. They were wrong. Zillow lost millions, if not billions of dollars. They need us here. Don't ever let your automation or your tech replace you. No one can replace you. And that's all I got for you guys. And we went a little bit over. So, what did you learn? Da-da-da-da, moment of truth. I hope you learned something.
A lot of work.
It is a lot of work. A lot of work, well worth it. That will save you a lot of work.
So are. Okay. they're really-
That's okay, safe space.
I'll talk to you.
Okay.
Yeah, like when you start your campaign 36 touch.
Yep.
thing.
Sure, absolutely. Yep, I'll send all of this to all of you guys at the end of this.
Oh, that'd be great.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
I might just need a day or two, but yes, I will send it all.
Do you have our emails?
Oh, yeah. If you registered, yes. If not, I do have business cards. If anybody wants to shoot me a text or an email, I can get it all to you. Pass these out. There you go. And keep going. Hit me with questions while I walk around. Oh, you have all my information. There you go. You're welcome. You got one. Because then you have all my information. I'll pop my contact information in the Zoom chat really fast too, in case there's anyone on Zoom that doesn't have my info. Just Deanna@beanstalkcoaching.com. And my cell, personal cell. Lucky you guys. Get rid of this. Is that it? No one learned anything? Woo! Hope you guys come to my next class.
I had a few notes about the return from the 36 touch program because for whatever reason, we had some delusional numbers.
Yeah, well,
So we had to be a little nuttier on that, so I made notes on that because that's basically your cheapest lead lever.
it is.
We're not.
And the most effective one.
in specifically.
Yeah, our goal this year is to have 50% of all of our business come from repeat referral.
Ours was
16%,
60.
60%. That's great.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah, we're trying to lead a little more in our ISA division this year, so we'll see what happens. But if we can get 50%, that'll be a massive win for us. And with a 10% return, that should not be a problem. So I'm married to our 36 touch this year. Yes, sir.
So I've got it likes to say the process over personality, which you kind of touched on. And if you were to remove yourself from it, can the business continue on? So I think nailing down the process, and not just knowing it, but having it written.
Yes.
So someone else can step into this.
Absolutely. Well, and that, you make a great point because we can't copy and paste ourselves, right? But we can copy and paste what we expect and our culture into our process and systems, right? So every person that you hire and every system that you have should be a reflection of how you expect your business to look like, whether you're in it or on it.
Kind of related question to that. So for the transaction management workflow, are you a firm believer in creating a plan customized for every single nuance that can ever arise? Or break it down into, here's the introduction tasks, here's the inspection tasks, appraisal tasks, and you just stack them on top of each other according to
Great
the
question.
scenario?
So what we typically do, and this is just us, so you guys can absolutely do whatever you feel is best for you, right? Full disclaimer. But what we do is we have our umbrella plans and then we will go in. We've been very particular about what is contingent on what, right? So we have some tasks with like, okay, you check the box, now the automation goes out, right? If, for example, we have a property that's not financed, it's cash, and none of those appraisal automations are gonna make sense, I delete our appraisal task from that umbrella plan, and then none of the automation goes out at all. Because it's contingent on me checking it off. And your client will never know that you deleted that task.
Yeah.
They'll just see what's been done, right? There are some that we've made separate, like for example, if we get a settlement extension, that's its own plan. That we assign, if we have an extension. You know,
I never created.
hey, this is what we do though, right? Because we're like, I should probably have a plan for that. All right, they're gonna make a
It's
plan
in
for
your
that.
head, but.
Oh, yeah. Even when we were processing rentals for the longest time, like I've had a TC for the past 5 years, right? And I was still just like personally managing all of our rentals, so I was like, we do 1 or 2 a year, I'll just do it. Well, then we got an investor client who has like a portfolio of 30. Guess who had to make a plan? I did. I was like, all right, it's gotta be documented now. It can't just be one of those, we only do it once in a while, that's fine, I'll just handle it. Not anymore. And man, do I wish I had that plan done a year or 2 ago. So I was like, no problem, Michael, we're on it. As I'm like writing his plan in the background, like, yeah, don't worry, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. So yeah, little things will come up. Just ask yourself, do I need a plan for that? Do I have a plan for that? The answer is yes, and you should. Always. Where are you guys gonna start? Say again. Pen and paper? There you go, yeah. Oh, 10 days of pain?
Yeah.
Love it, that's a great one. 10 days of pain, anybody else?
I've just got a listing,
Uh-huh.
so I need to
There you go.
go through all those steps.
Mhm. So what's your first one? Not to put you on the spot or anything, but you know.
Can't be more ambitious.
No, it's okay. It's really like the question, even when I'm coaching people, I ask them, right? It's not about taking it from, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, right? You rate yourself like a 2, right? I'm at a 2, whatever that means, however you define it. It's not about getting from 2 to 3. It's not about getting from 2 to 10, definitely not. It's about getting from 2 to 2.1, right? And then 2.2. And then slowly getting yourself up to 3 until you're at a place where you can look back and say, I'm really proud of this system, this good system. Right? But you can't bite off more than you can do. We can only do one thing at a time. So just 2 to 2.1. What's the first step? I'm gonna read my listing agreement and make sure it's in compliance. We didn't miss any addendums or signatures, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. Then I'm gonna send them a copy. Say, here you go, I'm so excited to work with you. Here's what you can expect next. Right? Then I'm gonna go to their house. I'm gonna take measurements. I'm gonna write all my listing intake stuff down. Then I'm gonna give them any recommendations. So I'm gonna order photography. Right? You guys know how to do this. You're awesome agents. You're awesome business people. All you gotta do is write it down. All right, y'all. Anything else before we close it out? So all of you can get back to being badasses and documenting all of your systems. Yeah.
Thank you.
All
Thank you
right.
very much.
My pleasure. Goodbye, everybody on Zoom. I hope you can see me.